Streaming cyberspace into your place. From North Wilkesboro Speedway, it's the Virtual Gift Network's live as it happens round 9 coverage of the Red Light Racing Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series. It's season 21. The pressure of the early regular season has now been released, replaced by the anticipation of the postseason. But before the chase, drivers must play out the string, go through the motions of these final 2 races. For some, it's an opportunity to build momentum. For others, to shake off the rust. For a few, it's a chance to place doubt into the hearts, minds, and souls of their competition. So pull the lever on the lazy boy and settle in for the momentum building, the rust shaking, the doubt placing excitement that is simulated short tracks on a paved oval. The warm Tar Heel State hello and welcome on this Monday night, March 23rd, 2026. Josh Granny Hills Buckley joins yours truly, Bill Soups on high up in the VGM press box to bring you our words eye view. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders, it's the boss man, Lowell Jewell. All right, partner, you got a little bit of practice. We got some new pavement to talk about. What do you think?
Yeah, well, obviously, I've always been a short track guy. So when coming to tracks like this, especially the nostalgia of this place with the repave on it, this is the first time these guys are going to be on it. Um, it's a lot of fun, man. This truck is a little bit of a handful for these guys. You got 2 different corners that are completely different. And I'm watching guys with all sorts of different lines into 1 and 2. I think it's going to make for some great racing tonight.
Should be fun. We'll talk about the race details in just a minute. Let's take a quick look at the points. We haven't looked at them ourselves yet. Are they going to come up? Abracadabra, and there they are. Hey, how about that? And they look perfectly correct. You know, the top 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers all have wins. The highest driver in the points without a win this season is Connor Blasco. Would not be surprised if he gets one of those even before the regular season ends. James Bones Skeldon beginning to put it together. He's got 2 wins. Only other driver with multiple wins is your point leader, Max Terrio. Skeldon's beginning to put it together. Watch out for him. He has been hot of late. Ethan Troutman and Luke Logan Allen safely into the chase, as is Bill Benedict. Jason Wells has positioned himself safely in there. Now the top 12 go. It's not. That puts our attention tonight on Jeffrey Souza and Tony Strano. Strano has been right around that cut line for very long. He's 7 points back of Souza right now. So here's the deal, partner. We're going to go over-under for Tony Strano tonight. This field's a little smaller. Can Tony get himself a top 10? What do you think?
The way the season's been going, I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna go with probably not tonight.
Oh, that's we made the Simon and Poindexter in Vegas. They like to set the line so that our partner can go ahead and bet it comfortably, but they set that a little bit high. Well, Tony, we're pulling for you. With that, how far are we going tonight? How's this going to play out? How many pit stops? What's going on? Granny?
Yeah, we're doing 125 laps tonight. Judging on the fuel, probably be 1 stop if it's green flag for most of the way. Which short track racing, we'll see how that goes. Um, Strategy for tires later on might be they got 50% fuel, so it's a lesser fuel load, so it does definitely change the way these trucks handle for these guys tonight. Other than that, they should have 4 extra sets of tires if they decide they want to come down for them. They can definitely do that. And like we always talk about, there is no fast repair. So if they break it, they bought it.
The field is all ribbons and curls with lips like strawberry wine. We have a sweet 16 for our driver count. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them were able to put in qualifying times. 5 did not. No times for Tony Strano, and Tim Combs did not get in a time as well. Ben Cuttress, Bruce Potter, and we'd like to welcome to the series. He has not been here, but he is always there, Fred Leclerc. Not sure if he didn't get in a qualifying time, which is unusual for Fred, so maybe he just showed up to do the practice. Hopefully he'll stick around and race with us. Any race is always better when you got Fred Leclerc in it. 125 laps, or 2.5 hours, whichever comes first. Lord help us if we get to the time limit. Great night to go racing here in North Carolina. Weather is nice, no clouds in the sky. The very attractive three-dimensional iRacing crowd, one of the most attractive crowds in simulated racing. I particularly like the girl in the low-cut yellow sweater. She's going to be a little warm tonight in that. With that said, I no longer have to fill. We are all grateful for that. Let's go ahead and run through the starting order. With the top qualifying speed, it is Trent Potter putting in a 19.2. Outside of him, two-time winner Max Terrio.
Starting in third tonight is going to be Chris Hammett, and starting fourth is James Skelton.
Okay, he's got his homework done. He had a report to do on the Greek gods. That's all done. We're talking about Kid Lemon Lime, Luke Logan Allen. He'll be starting in fifth, with Bill Eggs Benedict outside of him.
Starting in seventh is going to be Jeffrey Souza, and to his outside is Ken Allen.
Sean Bloop Single, a winner earlier this season, will be starting in ninth. A man looking for a win, it could happen. Ethan the Mountain Troutman will flank him.
One we've been watching most of the season, starting 11th tonight, is going to be Connor Blasco. Let's see if he can come through the field. And to his outside is Tim Combs.
Racing it is a familiar number 71. Fan favorite, always there, Fred Leclerc will be in the Baker's Dozen spot. He's going to be inside Bill Coltis.
15th is going to be Bruce Potter, and last on the field is going to be Tony Strano.
Tony Strano, our spotlighted driver. He's got to get to the top 10 to prove my partner wrong. He's only got 7 spots to get there as he starts at the very end. Trent Potter is here. I don't believe Bruce is. So there's only one set of family members out there. Papa Kenny Allen will be starting in 8th position. And he'll have to be looking up at Luke Logan Allen out there in 5th.
One thing to mention here tonight that will probably be a little bit of focus if we do get green flag pit stops. This pit road is pretty sketchy to get onto because you have to be at speed coming off the track. And the cone is actually before you get on the pit road. So it threw some drivers off last night in practice.
They are fixed setups, but they are adjusted setups. They are not the iRacing base. Am I correct on that, partner?
Oh, these are iRacing base setups. The only adjustment is 50% fuel instead of 100%.
Whoa. Well, that's certainly going to guarantee that somebody's going to have to come in before these 125 laps are done. Will they come in for tires?
Absolutely.
Will be a late splash and go? Well, we're going to see how this is going to work out. Leaders have to wait for the flagman. Trent Potter on the outside. Gather up the chicken's head, cover around the cows. The horses are out of the barn. Max Terrio trying to make that inside line work. He drifts up. Potter leaves him plenty of room. Momentum on the top. That's going to prevail. Trent's out in front. Max in second. James Bone Skeldon in third, running out your top 5. Kid Lemon Lime, Luke Logan Allen comfortably there, drifting up high was Bill Eggs Benedict, but he secures that spot. Pinned down low, that's Jeffrey Souza. He wants to be careful. He's in the chase. He doesn't want to have an issue right now. He's pinned. That's going to allow Papa Ken Allen to roll up there in the 49.
Yeah, Ken Allen's doing a great job trying to hold on the outside there, but I think Souza's going to prevail with this position. But you can see the guys in the front, they're kind of singling out right away, wanting to just log laps here. Someone did look like they spun the tires on that start there, but they were able to gather it up and keep going.
Lots of preferred racing lines out there. Some people are trying it high, some people trying it low, some people diamonding it.
Yeah,
Everybody right now trying to get into single file. Go, partner.
yeah, no, it's the product of this track with the way turns 1 and 2 are. There are definitely some guys using the high line, some using the low. I even saw some guys in the middle. And it just, you know, if it works for them and they can keep the car straight, that's, you know, where they can make the speed.
Now they are all lined up. First two wide battle. Jeffrey Sousa has been under attack. Ken Allen in the dark car up top. The light number 4 down below is Sousa. Top side does not work.
Yeah, right now it doesn't look like the top's working, but that could change throughout the race once you get some rubber on the track. You know, lines might change, but you see Ken Allen way up. I don't know if he hit the wall right.
Oh, that's a great shot. Makes you want to lean to your left there when they come by. Well, we have a spotlighted driver, so let's put the spotlight on Tony Sousa. He's in 13th. Here he comes, the number 3 coming up. Sandbagger didn't put in a good qualifying. He's working up. He's got the next one in front of him. It's Ben Coltis.
Yeah, that could have been a situation where the way it does it in iRacing, if they even accidentally tap the wall while applying laps, it doesn't allow the lap. So he might have been out there and just either spun it or tapped the wall, and it negates the lap there.
Let's go up and look at Papa Kenny Allen. Try as he might, he cannot protect the inside. This is Sean Luke single, making a run single with already a win this season. He'll have to settle down.
Yeah, you see Sean trying to run similar lines to Ken right there to try to make a move. It's just Ken making that outside work a little better right now.
Well, one of these red light racing scrambler series would not be complete unless we didn't check in on Connor Blasco. Doesn't have a whole lot of experience. He put the left sides down below the white line. The car got very loose, came right up in front of Ethan Troutman. Blasco and Troutman notorious for being able to work their way through the field. Ethan, you found a good guy to get behind. Let Connor do all the work there. Save your tires. Let's see how good Blasco can get through the field. Currently up 2 spots from where he started.
Yeah, the good news is, you know, 125 laps sounds like a lot of laps. It's not at a short track, but it is a plenty enough to kind of work everything in, get the tire wear, and just, if I were him right now, just kind of save your tires, let everybody else burn their stuff up, and then pass him later.
That's a lot of laps when you forgot to have your pre-race meal. One of the commentators, I won't mention who, is really hungry, so he's hoping for 125 green flag laps. There is some frozen egg rolls with his name on it. Let's check in on Bill Benedict. Benedict racing in 6th spot, being pressured a little bit by Jeffrey Sousa. Sousa had a rough time early, starting to get the feel of it out there.
Yeah, Benedict's car, if you actually, or the truck, if you actually I never noticed this until last night when we were talking about it. That paint scheme actually is a bunch of little Legos, if you really look at it.
My goodness, it is a beautiful paint scheme. Don't want to hit the wall if your car is Lego related. You lose a piece of it.
It's really funny how long I've raced with him, and I never noticed it until someone brought it up last night.
Boy, they are just putting in the laps right now, passing at a premium. Potter, Terrio, Skelton, Allen, and Benedict. Who's your big mover? Well, Connor Blasco is up 2. 3 points for Tony Strano. He started so far back, but he's leveling off now. Cannot get around Ben Coltis.
Yeah, as these tires start to wear, you might see these lines kind of change up a little bit. It does get harder to pass once these tires are wearing because you're doing everything you can to not, you know, have the truck break free on the exit of the corner, but you're trying to get the throttle down at the same time. But with a car outside of you, it's a lot harder to drift up to keep your speed.
Turn on the reggae music because he likes to race high. That's Ken Allen. Again, being pestered by single. We got an issue. Oh, it was Ben Coltis, you know. Tony Strano couldn't get around him. Well, that's one way to get around him as Ben loops it around and noses it in to the Noakes Wilkesboro pit lane wall. comes.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. These things, especially on exit at a corner, they get really loose, and you're trying everything to put as much throttle down there to get the launch you want off. And sometimes it's just a little too much, and it goes around.
Okay, well, it's always fun to talk to Papa Kenny Allen. Kenny, Soup in the booth, can you talk to us?
Yeah, I got you.
You have spent more time high than most people have when I'm talking to. Oh, I'll let you make your stop there. Hey,
Oh no, go ahead.
perfectly
Go
done.
ahead. I'm all good.
You got all your buttons pushed? Okay, you taking 2, you taking 4.
I'm taking 4.
Okay. You've been up on you've been higher than most guys. You've had single behind you for a long time. They're nice, good. Careful now. I'll coach you out here. Don't go too fast. There you go. Stay right behind the 90.
We're
well
good.
done,
We're good.
buddy. All right.
I don't have a lot of speed, but you can really defend your position on the high side. That's kind of what I'm doing.
Is
I
it?
think
Okay.
Sean's a lot faster than me, but you just can't get that run off the bottom to make a pass.
Are you good to go from here, or will we see in one more time?
Man, I am. No, we will still have to stop at least one more time.
Okay. All right. Go get him. We'll keep an eye on you.
Thanks, Sue.
Take Kenny Allen, drop him back down where he belongs.
Now, he made a good point there with being able to defend a lot better on the outside. As we get these runs, I'm curious if that becomes more and more difficult. We should definitely be paying attention to that right there.
Page 17 of the VGN's commentator handbook says do not go to an interview when they're busy making a pit stop. We apologize to Papa Kenny, but he was able to get it done.
He was a champ about it.
In fact, I think he might have improved. I think my coaching there, especially on pit out, that was good. No speeding, leaving. All right. The perfectly mesmerizing Josie Kirkland has pulled the pace car in. In control of the field, Max Terrio. There we go.
That was a great jump by Max to really get a good launch off, and we're already clear.
Look at Jeffrey Souza. He did not make a stop. Terrio,
we got
Souza,
3 wide.
Johnson, and Potter.
3 wide is difficult here, but they are making it work right now.
Connor Blasco. He's new to iRacing. Boy, they continue to, but this is some scary stuff going on. Blasco on the inside. That's Skelton in the middle. Troutman up high.
Yeah, that's really impressive because, again, like I'm talking about, throttling up off the corners, I mean, this can get really sketchy. As you see Single think about going 3 wide in the middle here.
Single has been quick, but it's just been in a tough position. No, boy, he gets great momentum off of 2. Let's go back and look at the 11. He's having a nice run.
Yeah,
now
he's
rolling around the 62. Yeah.
Yeah, he sends it into the corners in 3 and 4. That was a great run there.
The closing rate took my breath away there. I thought he was going to get into somebody. More battling up front. Skelton working on the 86, coming in low. That's the 4 of Souza on the top side. They get that settled out. All right, Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, but the racing seemed a little more exciting there. I think everyone enjoying the fresh rubber. Is it kind of more fun on those once the tires warm up?
Yeah, they got I'm not going to call it a long run, but they did get a little bit of a good green flag run right there, and they got to feel what their trucks are doing, and they're probably definitely taking advantage of those tires right now.
Oh, it looked like the opening lap at Indy there for a minute. 3 wide, they get it sorted out, thinking this is not the place to be. Eggs Benedict, he backed out of that one.
See Skelton getting to Max Terrio right now, going on the bottom in 3 and 4, seeing if he can pull it off. It drifts up a little bit, but good launch off. He's going to clear the 42.
It's a nice pass, and he finishes it. Kenny Allen just got underneath Ethan Troutman. Hey! Fred Leclerc, he's there. Started in 13th, in 8th right now.
No, he's looking pretty good right now. He definitely has some speed. I don't know how familiar he is with this this track, especially with the truck, but he's making it work right there. As you see, it gets a little loose.
So just to follow up, no pit stops for Terrio, Souza, and the other big name, Connor Blasco. Also Ethan the Mountain Troutman. The non-pitters race right now in 5th, 6th, 8th, and 13th.
I see Ken Allen get a little loose on the exit of 4 there, but it's able to gather it up. I don't know if he lit up the tires a little bit and he's just trying to get him caught up, but Leclerc with a good run into 3 and 4 right there is going to clear the 62.
Caution came out at about lap 17, so there's a 17 lap advantage to the guys who made the stop.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised by that, especially Connor. Connor dropped back really fast. I didn't think the tires were going to matter that much for that amount of laps, but that shows you right there, it really does.
Can't blame his thinking. He likes to move through the field side-by-side battle. Just to tell you what's going on there, that's Strano up top, Bill Benedict down low. Remember, Strano is our spotlighted driver. He's up 5 spots, racing in 11th. So close to that top 10 that my partner had serious doubts that he was going to be able to get. Oh, ye of little faith. Oh, Benedict drifted up, almost got in to Troutman, but they get it worked out.
Yeah, that's the thing about entries, especially if you try to dive low into one, you're going to drift up a little bit, and thankfully he was able to stay down just enough not to make contact.
My goodness. Director, let's go back and look at the 71 of Leclerc. He's in a side-by-side battle with Souza. Not really a fair battle. Leclerc with fresh rubber, Souza on old stuff. Oh!
Oh, and they touch.
Here's what you can do with your new tires, says Jeffrey Souza. Fred Leclerc, welcome to Monday Nights.
Yeah, I think that was just a thing where I don't know if a spotter said clear. It might have said clear, but it just Souza on the top coming with a lot more, faster momentum and just was there just in time. Really impressive for both of those guys to keep those trucks going.
Now Leclerc trying to catch his breath. He's losing positions, dropping like a pitch, and Troutman goes underneath them. Coming through is Connor Blasco. Blasco on old rubber as well. Opportunity for Tony Strano to get down in there. Strano in 12th. That was short-lived. Strano in 11th as he picks up the position on Leclerc, who is struggling either with lack of confidence, the car may be damaged a little bit, getting it in, the truck may be damaged a bit, getting it in the wall, or maybe he's just waiting.
I think it's probably a little bit of the right front damage and probably just trying to assess what he can and can't do with it. Probably waiting for a caution to bring it down and see how much damage he has and get it fixed.
Trent Potter, Bone Skelton, your 2 leaders. Haven't checked in on them for a while. Director, let's look up front. Those guys opening up a bit of a gap. Sean Single up 6 spots from his bad qualifying as our big mover in 3rd. The kid back there, ask Kid Lemon Lime who Athena is. He'll tell you. She's the goddess of love, the Greek goddess of love. That's right, because he's done his homework. He's in 4th. Right now, he needs to be less like Athena, a little more like Zeus. Go out there. Give him a lightning bolt. Max Terrio on that old rubber in 5th. Top of all the drivers who have yet to pit.
I was going to say, I'm actually a little surprised that Max, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but it is a little surprising with the way other guys are falling off that Max is able to hold on to 5th right now.
Well, we're up front, but the action is a little farther back. He's just above the cut line is Jeffrey Souza. working underneath him. Here comes Troutman.
Yeah, what's starting to happen here is Ethan's trying to make the move on Souza, but Souza, again, when we were talking to Ken, with being able to defend a lot better on that high line, it's really bogging everybody else up. You're seeing Connor starting to get in there. You see Strano starting to get it behind it. So this can get pretty entertaining pretty quick.
And Josh, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but here's what I'm thinking. Do you think that there's less an advantage once the tires get a little wear on them? Maybe some of these guys are out there on old stuff. Maybe the new tires are really, really good, but once they get the happiness worn off of them, they kind of come back to the rest of the guys, because Strano and Terrio and Blasco and Souza, they seem to be doing pretty good on old stuff. Troutman as well.
Yeah, no, they can definitely even off, especially if we were to get another caution and someone wanted to, didn't want to pit, but I think they would pit anyway. But they can definitely even off, because as you get tight, you're trying to drift up the track to make a pass, and it won't turn. So
our director is on where the yellow flag is going to be cooking up right now. Spotlighted driver Tony Strano working on the inside of Souza. Strano with that fresher rubber.
Yeah, no.
Go ahead.
No, it's looking at Souza right now. He's kind of falling back. Blasco passed him, Ethan passed him, and now looks like Strano's going to get by.
The racing gods are very fickle as they put the two guys who are on the bubble, one just above the cut line, one just below the cut line. Well, the guy outside looking in has made the pass, Tony Strano. Where is he? He's in 10th.
Making me eat my words.
There you go. Took him a while. Looking good.
Yeah, the other thing for these guys to think about when we're talking about points, there is only one race after this left before the playoffs, and that is Daytona, which is always a wild card.
Oh, my. Okay, we've been looking back a bit. Let's look at third position. Luke Logan Allen has been trying everything he can to get around Sean Single. They're both on the same tire strategy.
And we got James Skelton looking under Trent Potter for the lead here.
Oh, indeed. Indeed we do. Nice call, buddy. Trent Potter going to like the momentum on the top. Skelton down low. That is what you call Cialis bathtub racing there. I like to call it romantic racing. Side by side, looking at the sunset, holding hands. New leader, James Bone Skelton.
Yeah, I've been watching him for a few laps. He was definitely on the entry of the corners. Definitely seemed like he was charging into the corners a little more than Trent was. Again, it's just trying to get the momentum enough and keep it up and just finally get under him. And he did a good job of getting away from him. And now let's see if he opens up this lead.
Max Terrio has been out there for 55 laps. I'm worried that it's going to be a fuel stop pretty soon. How 50% fuel? Make an estimate. Give me a ballpark figure. I know you're not going to get it on the money, but what would be your guess? How many laps can they go before the syrup bottle gets empty?
I think it might be somewhere around the number 70, maybe a little more than that if the lap times are really falling off. But yeah, it'll be coming up quickly here.
Well, that's about a dozen laps from now, and at lap times at under 15 seconds, it won't be long.
Yeah, definitely. This is what I was talking about just before the race started with pit road entry here. As you just saw with the yellow line there, that's where that cone is. You need to be down to, I believe it's 35 miles an hour when you hit that line, or else you get penalized. And a lot of guys in practice last night had issues with that.
Chris Hammett making a stop. Haven't heard much from Chris. He's one lap down, and I think he might be having connection issues.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate if that's the case, but that's part of the online simulated racing. It sometimes happens, and there's not a lot you can do about it.
Well, there's some things you can do. You can call your internet provider. You can throw things. None of those are going to help you, but let's look at fourth position. It was not long ago that Luke Logan Allen was on the back of Sean Single. Well, that's not happening. And Max Terrio beginning to run him down. Oh, Max, he's hoping for, right now, dreaming of rivers in China and ribbons around old oak trees. A lot of these guys are wanting something yellow right now. "62 laps for the guys who have not pitted." Remember, one of those, a handful of those laps were under caution. Let's say they can go 75.
Yeah, you see Benedict under Ken Allen here, trying to make the move. At first, I thought it was like Ken was talking about how it's really good to defend, and then you see, wow, the way he just launches off of 2 and he just takes off.
Benedict in 6th. Allen in 7th.
It looks like we have Jeffrey Souza to pit road.
Okay, he's on the same strategy as Terrio, who's racing in 5th. Remember, Strano trails him by 7 points to make it into the postseason. Strano in 9th right now. Souza wanted that caution flag, and now he's made a stop. Now he absolutely does not want a caution flag.
Yeah, we got Ethan Troutman on pit road as well. We might start seeing everybody come down.
They roll out. With that said, let's check in on Max Terrio. Max not listening, but he's not listening to me right now, but hopefully he has the broadcast on. Max, time to pit. Coming in, and he's not listening to me.
Well, he might be trying. Yeah, we've seen it before in other races where he's the one that generally goes longer than everybody else. So he might be on that same strategy. So if he only has to do that one pit stop, and he'll have the fresher rubber later.
So the 2 girls staying late at the ball, Max Terrio and Connor Blasco. How long can they stay before their carriage turns into a pumpkin? Terrio in 5th, Blasco in 8th. They've been out there for 68 laps. They just do not want to come in and get caught out with a yellow.
Yeah, that's really the gamble right now, and especially when you're having people pitting. Now you're going to have cold tires coming out on cold tires. You're going to be holding on for dear life for a few laps until they get some heat into them.
And Coulter's making his 2nd stop. Blasco is in. Terrio, the last to pit, racing right behind Luke Logan Allen.
Well, one thing we learned from that early caution is tires matter. So if they get another caution here tonight, I bet you these guys are going to be taking tires instead of staying out like they did before.
Indeed. Terrio behind Kid Lemon Lime. You want to know how good new tires are? There goes Ethan Troutman. See you later. Woo-hoo-hoo, I like fresh rubber, says Ethan.
Yeah, take advantage of it while you have it, but don't use it up too much because you want to have something left to win this later in the race.
Troutman was out there for 6 laps. He was on Terrio's pit strategy.
Now here comes Terrio to pit road.
Cinderella has a curfew. Max Terrio coming in for his first stop. He did not like how Ethan the Mountain Troutman made him look there. What we're going to do is pick up Ken Allen. Oh, Ken Allen's making a stop right now, too. Okay. This is a legitimate stop. He's coming in early. I guess he thinks he can go the distance.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident you're able to go the distance from now. Looks like Luke Logan Allen's heading on the pit road as well.
Let's look at Terrio. Let's watch Troutman. Remember we saw Troutman go around him? That was to unlap himself. Here comes Ethan right now. He's going to cycle out right behind Max Terrio. Those are the leaders of the guys who can go the distance from here.
Yeah, no, Ethan had a good pit stop, and everything kind of worked out for him, where he was able to use the rubber to his advantage there, while everyone else stayed out for a little bit longer. So hopefully it works out in the end, but he's definitely gained a little bit.
All right, Sean Single is in. So what we're going to do is pick up Terrio. Terrio's on the back straight. Single still in his pit lane. Terrio through 4, coming down the front stretch. Single is rolling out of pit lane. Here comes Terrio. There's Single on the inside. Terrio remains the leader of all the guys who can go the distance from here.
Yeah, great pit stop by Max there, and definitely was able to get out a lot faster there. Sean isn't far behind, but it's going to be a little difficult to catch up, especially where he's kind of stuck between two trucks right now.
Bill Benedict pits. Oh, look at that. We have graphics for you. We got bars, we have graphs, we have numbers. Everything a race fan would want. Bill Benedict still in pit lane. Terrio's going to roll by him. Terrio out in front still. Big names are in. Skelton, Potter. Can Terrio do the undercut? Skelton yet to find his box. Your new leader, our spotlighted driver, Tony Strano. Yeah, it'll be short-lived, but welcome to a lap lead.
And that means 1 bonus point.
Oh, very important. Might be enough. All right, let's watch Terrio. He's on the front straight. Potter sits in his pit. Rolling now, coming out. That's James Skelton. And there goes Terrio.
Yeah, I don't know if that was just the advantage of the fresh tires with James staying out a little longer, but what's going to happen here is, can Skelton get back to Max with the fresh tires?
Terrio has been out there for 9 laps. Doesn't seem like a whole lot of advantage over James Skelton.
What is really interesting to see is the truck that is behind Skelton right now, Sean Single. These two do have a past. They are friends, they get along, but on the track, they have a past. So let's see if anything interesting comes of this.
Director, let's go to car number 3. He's Tony Strano. He led a lap, got a bonus point. His pit stop is done. He's good to go from here. He cycles out into a lot of drivers out there. Nice, safe pit stop. Where does he file out? He's in 11th. Ready to go to the end with fresh rubber.
I am really impressed with these guys tonight on a green flag pit stop like that. It is not easy to slow these things down to the speed limit there. And it's, so far, it doesn't look like anyone really got nabbed, maybe one person, but that's it.
For those who are watching the points, Jeffrey Souza has been out for 22 laps on his set of tires. Strano for 2. He's got a ways to go to get there. The gap to get to the guy he's chasing, all you little soldiers in Soup's clipboard army, 18 seconds. We'll watch the gap between Sousa and Strano for the cut line. Meanwhile, more importantly, let's check in on the leader. Max
James has
Terrio.
been really, he's coming. You see him right there. That entry I was talking about, James is just sending it into these entries a lot harder than anybody else I've seen tonight.
Well, let's see. My dad always told me passing the leaders like milking a rooster. The hard part starts after you catch them. Well, Skelton has the bird in hand. Rooster milk, baby.
Yeah, you see Max really pinched Skelton down there, trying not to give him a lot of room for a good exit. He did his best, but in 1 and 2, they both just drift up, and James is just able to put the throttle down and take off.
All right, director, stay with me. I'm going to run through the field real quick. Everybody good to go from here. Your leader, James Skelton. Having a nice run indeed. Has been out front for 31 laps this race. Right behind him with 15 laps out front is Max Terrio, but we think he's going to fall because it won't be long till Trent Potter, who's led more laps than anybody with 44, gets by Terrio and sets his sights on Bone Skelton. John Single up 5 spots, racing in 4th in the number 11. Kid Lemon Lime, racing right where he started in 5th. But is being hounded. Nope, that's a lap car. We got to go back to Ethan the Mountain Troutman, who's a long ways back, racing in 6th. Oh my goodness, we got a whole bunch of drivers coming. Blasco, Benedict right behind him. And then the 2 cars side by side. That's Kenny Allen on the inside. Jeffrey Sousa on the outside. Let's forget our work through the field. Let's watch this for a while. Blasco and Benedict. Eggs is cooking. Move Benedict up into 7th.
Benedict did a good job there. You can see he definitely has some pace on the bottom there. It's definitely easy to clear the 95.
There are 5 cars in a line. The slowest might be Ethan Troutman in 6th. Troutman being hounded by Benedict, Blasco. Papa Kenny Allen racing really well, considering he doesn't even have me in his ear. Jeffrey Sousa in 10th. Strano in 11th. The gap, remember, it was 18 seconds back to Strano. It's now 14 seconds back to Strano. There you have it. Will we go the distance from here without a caution? Well, let's have the commentators take a vote. Soup raises his hand and says, yes. Partner, what do you think? All the way on green?
Honestly, with the way these guys race, it would not surprise me in the least, which I was actually going to talk about. It's really impressive. Me being in this truck last night with them in practice, this thing is a handful. As you see Ken Allen go sideways here. And it looks like someone sideways behind him as well, and the caution's out.
Easy. Oh. The director says he didn't get to vote. Now he's voting. He says, no, we will have a caution. There's some ballot fixing going on there. All right, we look at the replay.
Yeah, it's the same thing coming out of 4, just trying to get a little more aggressive on the throttle. And then you saw Jeffrey Sousa do the same thing right behind him. So synchronized spinning there.
Are tires important? Well, based on pit lane activity, the answer would be yes.
Oh, absolutely. After you saw those guys that stayed out the last time, they know they're coming in for rubber now.
So wipe the slate clean. 2 or 4 is the question.
I think you're going to see everybody take 4 here.
Yeah.
I don't think 2 would be a good move to do. But what I'm interested to see now is how crazy this is about to get on this restart.
Skeldon first in, Skeldon first out. Few drivers did not come in. Your leader, Tony Strano, our spotlighted driver. Stay out there, baby. Make them go around you.
That could be that could be rough because you saw people like when Blasco stayed out, he dropped pretty fast.
Tony been out there for 18 laps. Everybody makes a stop except for Tony. Tony's getting over and waving them by.
I wonder if he wound up with some sort of penalty or something. I don't. Did he actually stay out, or did he get a penalty on pit road?
He is out. He has not made it. Well, he's not credited with making a stop. But maybe he just came and did a pass through, and maybe they had to go out there.
Oh, here we go. This is about to get pretty interesting here.
Indeed, they are doubling up. Nice start. Skeldon out of front. That's where it was before the stop. Potter being challenged by Ethan Troutman is all the way up to third now.
Oh, Max loses it. Gets loose. Oh, it looks like he's into that inside wall. So far, no caution.
It's right to pit lane, does Terrio. All right. We got Terrio out of the way. Sadly for him, he won't be doing any dancing. Hit to my director. If you're thinking about winning, get the mirror ball spinning. Rip the groove. Make you move. Put on your dancing shoes. It's time to boogie. I couldn't hear the music. Hopefully it played.
Yeah, you see Troutman giving a fight to Blasco on that outside, and you see Troutman's going to clear Blasco here. No, Blasco says, no, I'm not done yet. He's going to try the bottom again.
Blasco in that battle for 5th spot. Watching on Sean Single.
Yeah, it's just really hard in 1 and 2 because the way the turn is made, these trucks are going to drift up, and Connor just loses the speed on having to slow down for Ethan there on the outside.
Not missing anything up front. This is the best battle right now. I'll keep an eye on Potter. He is right behind Skeldon if he decides to go after him.
This is also going to be another thing with Sean Single sitting right back there right now. He will get impatient, and he will try to make some moves. As you see, he's actually trying to go to the outside of Connor here. He knows he's got some speed, so he's going to get impatient at some point, especially with these laps winding down.
Troutman with that half car length lead on top. Blasco continuing to get great finishes, well up in the points. Highest driver without a win this season. One is coming. They are so close. The 11 of Single giving the 2 guys in front plenty of room.
Yeah, these guys in front of them, though, aren't giving each other a lot of room right now.
That's a 5-car battle. Benedict, Blasco, Troutman, Single, and Sousa. Skeldon continues to lead up front. You're not missing anything there.
Looks like Blasco might clear Ethan here. Yep, Blasco's going to be clear of Ethan. Now he goes under Benedict. Great run out of 4 for Connor there.
Well, it's boogie time. Kid heard the music, even if commentators didn't. Sousa racing in 8th. Who's in 9th? Ha ha! Tony Strano.
You saw Max Terrio coming out of pit road there as well.
Let's go back to this battle. Eggs up high. Not sure if that's where he wants to be, being squeezed by Loop Single.
Yeah, that was just Sean really sending it in the corner there, coming up. Obviously, he didn't come up too much, but Benedict was trying to pinch down a little more, but Sean gets away with a clean move there.
Laps continue to tick. Leader on lap 118. That battle back there is so exciting. I hate to take you away, but I guess more important is the race for the lead. Let's look at Trent Potter real quick. He's a car length back. You don't need to stay here long because the action is really good back there, but we'll check back in on him. There's only a handful of laps left.
Yeah, Trent definitely, he honed down Skelton there, so I'm curious if in a few laps he might be trying to make a move.
Luke Logan Allen all by himself in 3rd. Skelton comfortable in the lead. That battle has settled down a little bit, back farther. Troutman, Single, Benedict, Sousa, Strano racing in 9th. All right, with apologies to the rest of the field with the laps being so quick, we'll turn our attention up front for these final laps. We'll see if Trent Potter can run down James Skelton. The season started and Skelton looked so good and then he got such bad luck. He now has 2 wins. Things are beginning to come. Not only that, he begins to pull away from Potter.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know. He might have been just trying to save his stuff, back up to Trent just a little bit. And then once Trent got there, he's like, all right, see you later. I got some extra I wasn't showing you.
Work at lap number 124. 6 corners to go now. If Trent has anything for James, he's got to show it. Kid Lemon Lime back in 3rd. White flag is out. Down the backstretch. He was fast early this season, but the bad luck kept finding him. He's got that taken care of. Out of corner number 4. 2 in a row for James Bone Skelton. Fred Potter gets 2nd. And he knows who Prometheus is, the Greek god of endurance, Luke Logan Allen. We'll get to talk to him as he finishes 3rd.
Honestly, that is a great run by Luke Allen there, especially talking to him in practice and all that. He was not happy with this truck. He was all over the place. He was like, he was questioning even running tonight, and to come home 3rd, that's a good job for him.
And let's not leave this part of the show before the break without giving a little tip of the hat to Tony Strano. He finished in 9th, but he did finish behind the man he's chasing for the cut line, Jeffrey Sousa, in 8th. All right, we'll take a short break. We'll come back and run down the entire finish order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. Who are you watching? Well, the initials are VGN, and that stands for Virtual Grip Network. do you want to be when the calendar says it's time for March Madness? Well, how about North Carolina? That's right. Welcome back to North Wilkesboro Speedway and the Virtual Grip Network's Live as It Happens. Ninth round coverage of the Red Light Racing's checkered flag auto supply Scrambler series. It's their 21st season. The results are in. Let's give them to you right now. This was a humdinger as we only had one caution flag and we had a couple green flag pit cycles that went all the way through. It was a fun one. Well, he started outside of row 2, but when it was all said and done, he was first at the checkered flag, picks up his third win of the season. James Bones Skelton. Trent Potter kept him honest, but could not get around him. Potter led 44 laps, but he'll have to settle for second. His homework is done. He knows all about the Greek gods, and he is Kid Lemon Lime Luke Logan Allen. Picks up 2 spots. We'll get to talk to him as he comes home in third. Just missing the interview is Connor Blasco in fourth with Ethan the Mountain Troutman behind him. Rounding at your top 10, it's Sean Bloop single, Bill Eggs Benedict, Jeffrey marching Souza down there in 8th, just ahead of the man chasing him for the playoffs. That's Tony Strano. Strano finishes behind Souza, but he does hit the under. Getting my partner wrong on that one. Well done, Tony. It was fun to watch you race. Papa Ken Allen rounding out your top 10. Those are all the drivers on the lead lap. I leave the guys who had trouble to my buddy.
And 11th, we had Ben Coltez. 12th was Fred Leclerc. 13th, unfortunate night for Max Terrio. 14th, Chris Hammett. 15th is Tim Combs. And 16th, Bruce Potter.
All right, with that, we get to talk to our race winner one more time. This is becoming commonplace now as we talk to James Skelton. We'll have him in here in just a minute. Wait to see. And do we have him? We do indeed. James, it's Soup. Talk me through the pit strategy at the end. No coming in for tires. Not a no-brainer there, right at the very end.
Yeah, just because after that, that first caution, we went, I think, 18 laps, and then most of the field we pitted, and then it was fairly easy to get around, the top guys that stayed out. So, I mean, it was kind of a conundrum because, if the majority of the field would have stayed out, I don't think I probably could have got there. But since, everybody pitted, I was pretty thankful.
Now, I want you to correct me if I'm wrong on this. It looked to me like the tires were really good when they were new, but then once, obviously they aren't as good once they get a little wear on them. But the part I'm saying to think is they kind of come into those guys who are able to stay out. Terrio stayed out, didn't make that first pit stop, and he was struggling early on. But then later, I think when everyone was on the tires for a while, he seemed to hold better. Kind of makes sense what I'm saying, or am I missing the boat?
No, I think you're right on. But Max is just really, really good on, not making his tires angry. I just thought, when that caution came out, that's 18 laps. And then from the practice race from last night, I mean, if you made the right front or especially the right rear angry, it just snowballed extraordinarily quickly. So I just wanted to get some fresh tires on there. But I mean, good for Max that he was able to maintain. I thought, on that cycle that we had, I thought, I would have been still out in front of him. So he did an awesome job of maintaining, even though, I was able to get the lead.
Well, the winds are coming now. If there's any time to get hot, it's right when the chase is about to start. So keep it up. We'll see you down the road. Let's get another one before we start racing for real here.
10-4 Soup. Thank you for everything. Thanks, Buckley. And I got to give a real quick shout out to my teammate, Trent. He had an awesome race. All the guys that are coming out, all of our sponsors, and I'll see everybody next week. Thank you.
Well done. We'll see you down the road. He's talking about all of his teammates that came out on that one. All right. Who you got?
Well, finishing to second tonight, I have James's teammate, Trent Potter. Trent, you got a copy?
All right, I got you.
Man, going in for fresh tires at the end there. I thought you were going to get the James, and I don't know if he was messing with you a little bit and then started to drive away. Anything you think you could have done differently, or that's all you had?
I don't think so. We were pretty close with our tire wear, and there at the end, that last little run, of course, we were both pushing it, and I know I slid the tires a couple times, and then, of course, I got them hot, and then that's kind of when I lost a little bit of ground, and then just couldn't make it back up, and then I just run up top in 3 and 4, just trying to see if it would do anything, but yeah, it didn't work.
Well, I mean, you looked good with that truck driving her around. I thought there might have been a spot point when you would have got that. When we had that caution to take tires there, kind of what Soup was asking James too. Were you know you were getting fresh rubber there, or were you going to kind of maybe gamble?
Oh no, with the tire wear, I was getting tires. I thought for a second, I was like, maybe get two so I can uh get up top on James, but he ended up taking the bottom anyway and it didn't help. But yeah, that first caution that come out was, I think it was on lap 18, and we had already talked about it, and we took tires just because of the fall off was so big.
All right. Well, I mean, another great run for you, second place tonight. So you definitely can't be too disappointed, especially teammates 1-2. So lastly, who do you got to think?
Yep, shout out James on the win, and thank you guys putting on the broadcast, BGN, Red Light, all the admins for the league, and just like to thank my wife Gabby.
All right, there's your second place finisher tonight, Trent Potter. Soup, who you got for third?
And he follows the rules. He thanks his wife and gives her name. Well done. He knows the VGN policy. This is becoming commonplace. I get to talk to Kid Lemon Lime, Luke Logan Allen. Luke, I know you weren't looking forward to this one. You got to be happy with third.
Yeah, Sunday I was more or less ready to just quit, and then I show up here and get third.
It was impressive. You were back there having some fun. You were in a hornet's nest for several laps back there with a bunch of guys. How'd you get clear of all of them? Was it just the final pit stop got you clear, or were you able to drive away?
Well, in that final pit stop, I think Sean got a penalty, so that's one position. Bill, I think, took two, so I got clear of him by the time we got the first set of corners completed, and then Max got loose, and then it was just kind of
There you go.
keep it under yourself.
You know, those guys, they need a little more experience to not have that problem like the kid knows how to do it. All right, we'll get you out of here on this. It's a school night. You got any homework tonight? Is it all done?
No homework, luckily.
Oh, all right. You back to school or Easter vacation, or you in school right now, or are you on vacation?
I'm in school right now. Easter break or spring break, whatever you want to call it,
Got it.
starts April 2nd, if I believe.
All right. Well, if you need some help with your homework, you can always talk to Uncle Soup. I'm real good at it, so just drop me a line. I'll give you the right answers there. Good luck, buddy. We'll
All
see
right.
you down the road.
All right.
Oh, wait,
Thanks, guys.
wait, Luke.
Oh wait.
How's the new rig? I know your dad was building one. Did you get something new? Are you racing on something new for you?
Since my dad switched to VR, now I'm on his old monitors, and first 2 days I was trying to just get used to it, and now I'm pretty used to it, and I'm actually liking it.
Okay, well done. Your dad's on VR. Good going. All right, man. Good luck. Have a
Okay.
have a great vacation and keep coming to the podium. See you down the road.
All right. Thanks, guys.
There we go. Luke Logan Allen. Can't help but, not only does he race well, he gives a great interview as well. My gosh, can I buy stock in some Kid Lemon Lime? Oh, well done, Papa Kenny Allen and Mama Kenny. Mama Kenny? Sure, why not? All right, with that, let's go ahead and get out of here. Hey, look at all those broadcasts coming up. It's Monday. I know I don't want to make this all about me, but I got a broadcast tonight, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Check that Saturday one out. Some of the commentators are going to be pretty loopy. All those broadcasts, future ones, past ones, and the ones you see on the screen, a production of the Virtual Grip Network. With that said, we hope you enjoyed the show. If not, we'll try to do better on behalf of all the little faces you see on the screen right now. Until next time, have fun storming the castle.